Welcome into another video here. We're talking about Texas is playing out Georgia here, week 8. Are we on week 8 already? Jesus, we're getting way too far in the season already. But we were talking about Georgia going on the road to Texas for what is, in my opinion, the biggest game of the year. I think this game is bigger than Alabama Georgia, and I think that's might be a controversial opinion. That might be kind of crazy to say for some people, but this game is going to tell us so much about Texas, about the SEC, about Georgia. And what I mean by that, we look at Texas. Yes, they're the #1 team in the country. Yes, they have great wins. But when you look at this team's top level wins, you see a Michigan team, right, that I think everyone thought was going to be good, at least decent on the trenches, decent running the ball, really good defense. Michigan's not as good as everyone thought they were going to be. I think that's a fact, right? They're just not. When we watched that game, Michigan didn't turn out to be the same level of good as they were in that game. And now we go and look at Georgia, right? So this game can tell us a lot about Texas because we look at Georgia, their one loss is to Alabama. They have been a little bit iffy against some SEC teams. Didn't really put up much against Mississippi State last week. They struggled against a Kentucky team, right? This is the game. Texas right here in this game can show everybody that they are a level ahead of the SEC, that they are the best team in the country. They could put this to rest. There's no debate. No one could vote Oregon anymore. No one can vote Ohio State. No one can vote Penn State as the #1 team in the country. They have to, right in Texas. This is the only way that Texas can do this. And this will tell me a lot. If Georgia goes in there and wins this game, tells me that the SEC is as open as it's ever been. There's no powerhouse right now in the SEC, and it's really up for grabs. And if Texas wins this game, they pretty much did grab it. But anyone can still win if Georgia wins this game. You got Georgia, you got Bama, you got Tennessee, you have Texas, you have Texas A&M still alive. Like, they're LSU still alive for this. This is going to be bananas if Georgia ends up beating Texas here on the road. They come away with this victory. We're going to have pandemonium here in college football, in the biggest conference, in the sport, in the SEC. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a fun game. Alabama, Tennessee is the lead up to this. That's going to have a lot of meaning towards the SEC as well, especially if a Tennessee can win that game, Alabama can win that game. That's a huge possible eliminator game. This is such a big game. So I think whoever wins this Georgia-Texas game, you almost have to make the #1 team in the country. Because if you think about it, like, Georgia was winning against Bama, and they just got off to a slow start. They were on the road in a hostile environment. They got rattled. They were on a slow start, and they fumbled under the pressure in the beginning. And they bounced back and came back. I saw many reports saying that they thought Carson Beck played really well. He got a little rattled, and his wide receivers made a lot of mistakes, which caused him to end up throwing picks, caused him to end up look worse than he actually is. Ultimately, I think Texas wins the game just because I think they are right now the best team in the country. But I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's no blowout. Georgia might cover the 4.5. It might be a 3-point win for Texas. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring maybe than people think. I think 57.5 is a lot of points at a game like this. I'll take Texas to win the game. I don't know about cover. I don't have the biggest opinion on the spread here for this game. Ultimately, this is a monster game. I think this is the biggest game of the year in college football because this tells us what the SEC is this year. And if you want to get a national championship, you have to get through the SEC school. Have to. And this will show you that there's no true 1A SEC team. Then everything, and I mean everything, from the national championship is up for grabs for anybody in the country. And that includes all the Big Ten schools. That maybe includes Clemson in the ACC. I know they got killed against Georgia, but if anyone can beat anybody, anything can happen. Ultimately, my name is Josh Rissy. Please hit the subscribe button. Sorry it's been a long time, but I'm back. Thank you.